Life is a ride. Life is a ride. Life is a ride along. Life is a ride along. Welcome to the experience. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to the journey. A movement. This is Ridealong Live, where everyone has a story to tell.
Do you emoji? I'm talking to you. Yes, you. Do you emoji? You should. Emoji, a brand new social media platform where you can social your way. With a simple and quick way to engage, meet new friends, and social the way you just love to. No annoying blocking or censorship. Check out emoji.com from your mobile or desktop PC. Emoji.com. Do you emoji? Well, you should. Log in now. Emoji.com. Do you emoji?
Emoji.com. Log in, sign up, and emoji.
You gotta be firm in this time, son. You gotta be strong in this time, son. I'm a survivor.
Right along. Welcome to the ride, guys. Welcome to the ride. Welcome to the ride. Welcome to Wednesday on the ride. Yes. Yes.
Nobody can hold me.
Hey, Pfunde singing.
You know, this song is in my head now, Junior. That's all I walk around and sing, you know.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I'm a survivor. I love it.
I'm happy. I'm happy that we're making an impression on you.
You have rubbed off on me, I must say.
As you come and go ahead and share the program, guys. I share the program and say, I share.
Can I just say hello to Lydia, my loyal? Lydia is here every week.
Yes.
Lydia James, Miss Lydia James, good evening, my love. I appreciate you. And everybody else, Dionne Fraser, Doris Morin Charles, Josephine Langdon.
Yes.
I mean, my ride or dies. I appreciate you all. Thank you for joining us every week.
Absolutely. Michelle McIntyre. How you doing, Michelle McIntyre? Guys, as you come in, share the program and say, I share. And also, we want to see the flags. We want to see where you're representing from. This is your program. This is the viewers program. Lovable John. I share. Big up yourself, Lovable John. And when you say I share, I want you guys to say where you're sharing from, right? And every time Pfunde come in here and she want to play the battle of flags, I always win. Yeah,
that's Jamaicans. We're humble people. You know, we're humble.
Pfunde, you can't test this.
I'm not giving up yet.
Well, let's see, guys. Let me see your flag. Let me see where you're representing from. Let me see where you're representing from. Today again is Jamaica, Grenada. I mean, the Caribbean against Jamaica. Against the Caribbean.
The world against Jamaica today. We always win, you know.
Let's see. Oh, look.
Tamoy Borland is here. Hello, Miss Borland. How are you?
Oh, Lord. Look, ting. Oh, Lord.
Dionne Fraser is being held against her will. She needs help.
Look,
I'm coming to get you.
Nah, Amina, big up yourself. Thank you so much, Amina.
Hello, Spice Baffy. Hello, Spice, my loyal fans. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
True supporter.
Yes.
You see Sonia McKee-John? She's in my corner. She's in my corner. Yeah, where the Jamaican? Look at this.
We saw Jamaicans. Come on, you just saw the Jamaican post all the flag.
She changed it. It's a change.
Oh.
We have some Canadian, Grenadian, same thing.
Yes. Hello, Nelsia Charles from Canada. Dionne Fraser have US and Grenadian.
Look at this.
All the way.
I'm sorry for you, Pfunde.
That's all right. You win some and you lose some, and today I'm winning.
It's not
because
quite.
I'm loved. Let me tell you something. I've taken over because people call me and they say, "You from Grenada, Miss Pfunde?" I said, "No, Junior is my brother." So I am taking over Grenada. So be careful.
Yes.
I'm feeling a lot of Grenada love. So thank you.
Let me tell you, if you ever come to Grenada, to get your Grenada passport, you have to know how to cook oil down.
I can cook oil down.
What kind of oil down? Jamaican oil down?
No, well, I've watched you and I've watched. First of all, I love to cook, Junior, so I can make a little oil down. Plus, all my fans will teach me.
No, no, listen. Oil down, you can't cook oil down if you was not certified by a Grenadian, because Grenadian bad for the thing. I tell
For
you,
the oil down.
not bad for the thing. I see one time at Trinidad, they made an oil down,
Uh-huh.
right? And it wasn't to the Grenadian liking. It created a regional war.
You're kidding me.
Trust me, Funde. It's not like
So it's a thing.
It's a very serious thing. It's not a joke. It creates a regional war. And let me tell you something, Grenadians. When you see we engage to fight, we fight.
Mm-hmm.
We don't joke. We get
Uh-huh.
everybody, every friend that we know to come in and
And taste that oil down. Lacey J said I should cook. She said she loves me, but I should cook jerk chicken instead.
So,
Don't do the oil down.
No, don't do the island, because
Don't
trust
do
me,
the oil down.
if you
Okay.
do the island and the island is not to the liking,
Mhm.
problems. You see?
Okay.
Right. So you got to be very, very careful about that. So
Mm-hmm.
once you get inducted into the Grenadian thing, you come down there, you have to play a jab. You have to play jab,
All right.
and you have to eat oil down. Eat the
Mhm.
oil down, play a jab, and then and only then.
All right, Kibby, I'll cook oxtail and rice and I'll make jerk chicken. They're
Yes,
saying no,
yes.
no aisle down, no aisle down. So no aisle down for me.
No.
Oxtail and rice
Stay in
and
your
jerk
lane.
chicken.
Stay in your
I,
lane.
I will absolutely stay in my lane because I don't want to get thrown out of I don't want to get thrown out of Grenada.
I'm telling you, you got to. Guys, it's always a fun day. It's always a fun day on Wednesday. We got a chance to give you guys some knowledge, some immigration information and knowledge. Talk about things and minus the drama. And I know you say, what drama? No drama happening. None. Absolutely none. We don't see drama. What's drama? What's that? Where is it? Did you guys say drama? So Funde, were you on Facebook yesterday when the big announcement was made?
I was not. I was actually in my office, first of all, but my phone was vibrating a lot. And I figured, so we knew it was coming, right?
Right.
If we're talking about the same thing, we kind of knew it was coming.
That's what
That is what we're talking about.
That's
So
what I'm talking about.
we knew this was coming. We knew this was coming. And it was only a matter of time. And we all had our hopes, right?
Yes.
So I was in my office and my phone was vibrating. And of course, it's all over Facebook. It's over Twitter. It's over Instagram that Joe Biden had chosen Kamala Harris to be his VP
You're wrong.
candidate.
It's not Kamala.
Kamala. I say Kamala.
You see, that's the same thing. The Fox News host got chastised about.
Her name.
Kamala.
Kamala. See, Jamaica would have said Kamala.
Yeah, I know.
So Kamala.
Yes.
Miss Kamala Harris. And I think over the next months that will be a point of contention, like pronounce her name correctly.
Yeah.
So Ms. or let's say it correctly, Senator Kamala Harris.
Absolutely.
Kamala Harris. So Senator Harris.
Listen, I'm gonna give my opinion on it.
Okay.
I love that, quite possibly, that there is a woman, right? Because I think women make better decisions.
Okay. I agree with you.
Right. I think women have that. I mean, and we're in 2020, right? And I can't believe that we're saying the first in anything, and we're in 2020. The first Black female VP. Yes, it is first Black female. Yes. Yeah.
And a major party ticket.
Kamala Harris. But here is the big question, and I'm going to ask my viewers. Would you vote for Kamala just because she is Black?
or because she's a female.
or because she's a female? And that is the question. A lot of people still saying that America is not ready for a female VP, much less a black female VP. I want to know what you guys think about this. Shay is saying no.
So Shay, you would not vote for her because she's black or because she's female. You would vote for. I guess you're saying you would look beyond her gender and her race.
I want to know. In
Sonia,
fact, guys,
Sonia says black no, woman yes.
black no woman is. This is what I want to do, guys. Before we talk about immigration, this is what we're going to talk about today. But I want to get your voice on this really, really quick. I want somebody to call me up, right? And tell me what you think about this. And if you were in between and not thinking about and really not sure about Joe Biden, does this pick now change your mind and put you solid on the ticket now because she's a black female? Call me up. Anybody?
I'll be curious. 718-701-5720.
I want to know. I really, really want to know. I'm not a fan of her based on her past history. And a lot of people are looking back at her past history. She was was she an AG?
Prosecutor. She was a prosecutor out in, I believe, San Francisco.
Yes.
Jay, tell me if I'm correct, but she was in California. She was a prosecutor in California.
Yes.
And the rumors are, and I don't know, well, I want to be able to prove this, that she was tough on crime. She was
Right.
known to be tough on crime. So I imagine that is the history that they're referring to, that Miss Senator Harris was known to be tough on crime.
Lacey J is saying, man, I'm not sure. America is very racist and Trump's support is very solid. And yeah, I'm scared to a point because I'm saying this like, is black people now gonna feel like they should support Kamala, or no, they're gonna turn against the ticket? And I'm like, me personally, I can't vote for Trump. I can't endorse him because of his past and what he have done in the past 3.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm more inclined to want to support Kamala on the ticket. I'm a Democrat. That's without a doubt, I'm a Democrat. I don't know what you guys think. Call in right now. We just want to put 5 minutes on there to discuss that. Black Star Barbie said that we have tried enough men already. Most of them fail. It's time to support a woman. We are more than capable. And that's what I'm saying. Women, right? Women, I think women make better decisions. I don't know, I'm gonna get hit real hard from men about that, but like women make better decisions in the household. I think. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but from other people's situation, I think that a woman would be a good person to be a president or vice president or top of the ticket or whatever the case might be. I want to get what you guys think. 718-701-5720. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about this topic. I just want to talk about it briefly. And I'm sure that's a topic that you guys might touch on as well. So I don't want to get too deep into it, Funde.
And I know, but I echo Lacey J, because when we think about women in leadership, lots of countries have had female prime ministers. They've had, going back to Margaret Thatcher, going back to Portia Simpson, going back to all these women who've led in politics around the world. So I think it's new for the United States to think of a woman being in power at the helm of the country. But when you think about immigrants, because we're talking about immigration law, a lot of immigrants in this country that are now citizens have experienced women in leadership. And I think they're going to choose Senator Harris based on what she's bringing to the table. I think, Junior, it's not going to be because she's Black or because she's a woman. I think they are going to choose based on her qualifications. And let's not take that away from Senator Harris. She is extremely, extremely qualified,
Yeah,
right?
I
So
agree.
I think, and of course they're going to dig up dirt on her, but she is qualified, whether we like that we're a Democrat or not. We have to agree to that.
Yes, yes. But here's my fear: the majority, right? The majority, which is the white population. We're talking about white men, white women in the United States. Would they be inclined to vote because Biden is he'll be 78,
77 going into 78, yes.
777, right? And quite possibly in the next 5 years, say Biden decide not to run in the next 5 years, she potentially would be, in high. She would possibly be the person that's running the ticket, top of the ticket,
Right.
right?
That is
And she
possible.
could quite possibly be the next president. If something were to happen to Biden in his time that he's there, God forbid something doesn't happen, she would be the president. Now, a lot of people with this, and we living in a racial America, are saying, boy, you know, do we want a black woman? I don't know if that would hinder the ticket even more. So I'm scared about that.
Hmm.
But as a man, I would like to see this happen. I would love to see this happen.
It will be exciting. I'm curious to see how it's going to turn out in the next couple of months. I think, they are going to tear her down as a woman.
Yeah,
They are going to tear her down as a black woman, and they might throw in a little immigration in there to tear her down a little bit more. If you
yeah,
remember, under when President Obama was running, former President Obama, they were saying, let's see the birth certificate. So,
yes,
I'll be curious to see if America is going to overlook some of those things. Remember the accusations they made against President Trump, and America overlooked a lot of that. So let's see what we're willing to overlook when it comes to a woman, when it comes to a black woman. Let's see if we as a country will overlook some of those things as well.
yeah. And does that bolster Trump's base? Now that he could say, because his base, and he's always catering to his base. His base is white men, not so much white non-college educated men,
Right.
right? And not so much white college educated women, but mostly men, which makes up a big majority. He pulled out a lot of these people in the last election that never voted before.
Exactly.
All these people they just never were a part of the electoral process before. They came out in the numbers, like they were so angry because of Obama. Now, would that ignite his base even more? Trump probably sitting there and smiling and say, "Oh, okay, all right," because he's not scared to play dirty. He's not scared to go racial. He's not scared to go really hard. It's I'm scared about it, but I want to believe that America would make the right choice in whatever they need to do to get Trump out of office.
And vote. And I think Caribbean people, black people, brown people, you have to vote. And you just have to get out there and vote. I mean, you cannot sit home and say, I'm not going to vote. This is one election where you absolutely need to be voting in.
Yeah, yeah. And on the topic of voting, I think it's a good transition where we could talk about now. We have a lot of people that are in the United States, right? And they have their green card. They had their green card for over a period of time. And they want to be a part of the electoral process, whereby they could be equally go when November time come, they could go and vote. And but they have their green card. They can't vote with their green card. What is the process of converting that green card into becoming a naturalized citizen?
Well, unfortunately, it will be too late to start a naturalization application for this November's election. The naturalization applications with USCIS are taking upwards of 4, 6, 8, up to 10 months. However, I think as a Caribbean community or as an immigrant community, we have to start thinking about it is time for me to get rid of that darn green card you've been walking around with in your pocket for 5, 10, 15 years. Stop renewing the thing and become naturalized. All it takes is that you've had your green card for 5 years. So straight 5 years. Hopefully, you're remaining in good moral character. By that, I mean you're filing your taxes, you haven't committed any crime, you haven't submitted any false documentation to USCIS, and that you're living the decent life of an American citizen. Once we can establish that, then you can apply for naturalization. We've covered on this show, Junior, which I'm so proud that we did. We've covered the N400 application. That
Yeah.
is the application that we've used, and you and I have gone over that thing a number of times, saying
Yes.
this is the application you used. For some people, it's easy. It's easier for them because they have either attended high school here or they've done some college, because you will be tested on U.S. history and U.S. civics. It's not that hard. It's 100 questions. You just got to study a little bit, and then you can become naturalized and you're eligible to vote. I want to warn my Caribbean community or my immigrant community, if you're watching today, do not register to vote if you're not a citizen. Don't even go near you can volunteer at a voting station. Do not vote. Do not register to vote. Do not vote. It will bar you from becoming a naturalized citizen if the service finds out you have presented yourself or have voted in a major election. So if you only have a green card, this election in November is not for you. You will ruin your chances of becoming a naturalized citizen if you go out and vote.
But Fonde, how would you even get to voting in the first place? Because you wouldn't be registered to vote. How would
So
you get there?
so I've had clients that people have come on college campuses and just
Right.
start signing up people to vote,
Right.
because you get a t-shirt or you get a water bottle. A lot of times they register you without even verifying any kind of documentation.
Right.
So if you have a green card, do not sign up with anyone saying that they're registering you to vote. Do not, absolutely do not. And do not, I've had clients, believe it or not, that are not citizens that have voted accidentally in elections. So I want to warn you, if all you have is a green card, or if you're here undocumented, don't go near any election places. Don't go near any polling stations. You can volunteer. If you have a green card, go hand out water, or if they want you to stand at the front and direct people on where to go. But otherwise, you cannot vote. You cannot complete a ballot. You cannot register to vote.
But as a green card holder, you could in fact vote in the local election that takes place with
Yes, for
yeah.
you to, but you cannot vote in a major, I use the word major election, and this is a major election where you're going to where you are going to elect a president.
Right, right. We have Patrice is asking about the fees, because we do understand, and I understood that from years back, that during election it's always an expedited process now to get people sign up, to get people registered as quickly as possible. Do we have any expedited process, and are they looking to raise fees between now and November?
Well, fees are going up October 1st. October 1st, the fees for immigration is going up from, right now it's $725. I believe they're adding $500 to that, Junior. So it will be 12 something by October 1st. The service has not implemented any rush application process because of the election. What they are doing is, if you've had an application that was submitted and you were interviewed and you were approved, they are scheduling those naturalization ceremonies. So those ceremonies are being scheduled, so you could come in and get naturalized, and then you'll be able to vote in your very first election.
Yeah, yeah. It's important, guys, because especially what they said about going to a polling station or attempting to vote, because you would be impersonating a U.S. citizen when
Yes.
you're not a U.S. citizen.
Yes.
And even if someone approach you about registering to vote, you say you should decline.
Decline. If you have a green card, just outright decline. Don't get into any conversations with them. Here's the thing, Junior. You have these agencies, it's election. And we
Right.
like to think that it's only in the Caribbean that election gets corrupt, right? We put our head in the sand because we live in the United States and everything is above board.
Let me. I don't want to cut you, but I see someone calling from a long distance number. Let's take
Sure.
the call. Caller, you live. Where you calling us from?
Yeah, Junior. I kind of in and out driving and so on. So I don't know if I missed whatever already. Forgive me for that. But I have a question.
Go right ahead.
And I must say, I love when that lady is there. You know, I get all my immigration questions and done.
Absolutely.
She has excellent knowledge on the area. So I have a question. So I have my green card. I got it last year. And last year, July, I think was like the first issued and so on.
Right.
But I had an immigration book. And I think it said that if you stay out longer than a year, you cannot use it to re-enter. You have to go through something. And the last time I was there was January. I left January, let's say around mid-January. And, well, you know, with the COVID and so on, I really don't want to go back to the U.S. No. So let's say, would they be enforcing that year thing, given that COVID and most places not even really allowing travel to the U.S.?
Great question.
What country is he? Where is he, Junior? Is he in Grenada?
Yes, I'm in Grenada now.
Okay. So this goes back to the 1-year rule. If you stay out of the United States on a green card, and I want us to go back to the voting conversation, Junior, because I think that's important. But let me answer this real quick. If you stay outside of the United States on a green card for a year or more, it is discretionary that Border Patrol may or may not let you back in. I would recommend to that caller that he at least comes back into the United States and files for what we call a re-entry permit. That will give him 2 years outside of the United States where he doesn't have to come and go on the green card. So he can just stay in Grenada for 2 years. However, I would caution him to stay a year or more outside of the United States. Certainly they'll forgive, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. It's hard for you to come back, but a lot of the borders are reopening. So we have to be careful with that. So come back in, file your re-entry permit. It is form I-131. And then you can stay outside of the United States for 2 years if you so choose to.
And lastly, it is my intention to go Canada soon because Grenada is open to Canada. Would that work against me? That I can reach so far as Canada, but yes, I stayed out of the US.
Again, it will be discretionary with the Border Patrol officer.
Okay.
But certainly if you're saying you can't travel because of Corona and you're traveling to Canada, one of the things you have to look at are flights coming in and out of Grenada to the United States. And you want to show for the whole 12 months. So Corona is like March, it started. So you got to show between March of this year and March of next year, you had no opportunity to come back into the United States. And again, it will be discretionary based on the Border Patrol agent. Okay. There is a process in place, and we can talk about that. It's the SB1 process, where you essentially reapply for your green card, but you do it at the consulate in Grenada. That's a much longer process. You and I can talk about that. If you find that you've stayed out for too long, they want you to reapply for the green card, not going through this lengthy process, but it's a much shorter process.
Okay. Okay. Thanks much for that knowledge as always. Thank you very much.
Enjoy Grenada, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, and we'll give you her number, guys, on the screen so that if you want to call and ask additional question. But you mentioned there about this issue as it relates to green card, and it's a problem that a lot of people are having right now. A lot of people are outside the Caribbean, like in Grenada, where there's no frequent flight coming out of Grenada. And their green card is about to reach the 1 year mark. Hold on a second again. We got another caller. Caller, you live. Where are you calling us from? Caller? Hello? Okay, I don't know what that was. Caller, you live. Where are you calling us from?
Brooklyn, New York.
Go right ahead, Brooklyn, New York.
Listen, I had a situation where, concerning the registering to vote and not being a citizen, I went to get my driver's license. And the gentleman said to me, do you want to register to vote? So I said yes. And the gentleman registered me.
Yes.
So when I went to get my citizenship, and in the office they asked me, have you ever registered to vote? So I said yes. So the gentleman was like, you registered to vote? I said yes. When I went, and then I went on to say, when I went to get my driver's license, they asked me if I would like to vote or if I want to register to vote. And I told them yes, not knowing that I'm not supposed to register to vote because I'm not a citizen. So then he said, did you ever vote? I said no. And he said, but don't you know that's illegal? I said, I don't know. The policeman asked me if I want to register to vote, and I did. So then he said, you don't do that.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, well, I'm like, with my mouth open, my hands open, and I'm like, but I didn't know. They asked me, and I said, yes, you know, and I'm thinking, it's the police, and they should know better because, you know. So now that she's saying, I mean, the lawyer is saying that, and I'm like, I recall me having that experience, and I was like, what the hell?
Wow.
It happens.
So
It happens all the time, Junior. It happens on college campuses with my F1 students, because what happens during election, there's all these these monies that gets funneled down to these agencies, and they get paid for how many people they register to vote. So
Right.
they incentivize that by offering you a T-shirt or a water bottle or a sign up. You know, you get some little trinket that they have. It happens at the DMVs. It happens all the time, and a lot of people unknowingly register to vote. Some people do as much as go out and vote, because if you're not caught in the system, and I think there are numbers that show how many undocumented individuals have voted in elections accidentally, not even knowing, because they were encouraged to vote. They were signed up. Somebody handed them a clipboard and say, yes, you can sign up to vote. So it's a bigger problem than that. I've had individuals that I cannot get past naturalization, Junior, because they registered to vote and they voted.
Oh my God.
That's the bar. That is a bar to naturalization. And that is why I'm saying to my undocumented folks, immigrants, you know, I don't care if you're from the Caribbean, I don't care if you're from Mexico, Latin, South America, just stay away from the voting, stay away from the political talk. You can participate, but you cannot participate actively. You can watch and listen. We can have conversations like this. You cannot vote. Don't register to vote, even when the person who is handing you that registration is an official. Because a lot of times it will be somebody who you think is an official, like the caller just said. So I would just want to warn everybody, be cautious. Do not vote.
Thank you. Thank you. I want that to resonate, and I want people to share that story. It's important because I did not know that. I did not know that it was a bar to even your green card.
And that's just like the caller. She said, she answered, yeah, I registered to vote. And then the next question, did you vote? Certainly, because they're doing it unknowingly. And this goes back to why I say, consult with an immigrant. Even if you don't use a lawyer, just talk to a lawyer and just tell the lawyer everything you've done, everything you've gone through. I've had individuals where I've said, don't even submit your naturalization application, because here's a red flag, here's a red flag, here's a red flag. So
Wow.
that caller was fortunate where she hadn't voted. If she had voted, the next step would have been, they would have denied her. They
Yeah.
would have denied her. Yep.
718-701-5720. That's our number right here, guys. We are talking about naturalization, but one of the most important things that I want you guys to, I hope you guys heard this, that if you have your green card, do not attempt to vote. Stay away from the polling station. Caller, where are you calling us from? Somebody's spamming the phone lines.
Okay.
Yeah, it happens on Zoom. It happens on our phone lines. People just call and make a whole set of noise. Let me try that again. Caller, you live? All right, it happens. 718-701-5720. That's our number right here. I mark the calls that coming in and doing stuff like that. So I'm gonna make sure that I. Hello. There it goes again.
Oh yeah, that's all right. They won't stop us. They won't stop us, Junior.
You know what I mean? People are so freaking idle. They are so idle. Let me block this person. All right, they're so idle. Go ahead.
So Mo Franklin is saying, if you voted by error, will they know you voted without you telling them? One of the things, Mo, you did not want to do is be deceitful to a immigration officer. They have ways of finding out. They can pull the voter's registration. In the case where I've had clients, I've had to go back and check where they registered, the circumstances under which they registered. So yes, the service has a way of knowing whether you voted or not. So I would not add insult to injury by being deceitful to an immigration officer to say, no, I didn't vote, because they have a way of finding out. The moment they start asking a question like that, if I'm in an interview with a client and I see they're really asking, I know when they're setting up my clients to lie under oath. Because, you know, it's just how the way they're asking. It's like any of us, when we're asking our kids a question 2-3 times, that is because we already have the answer. So I would just say, you know, if that is something you have done, I would consult with an immigration law attorney before I even attempt to naturalize.
So if there's folks that's watching right now and unconscious, well, knowing to them, they did in fact registered to vote, what is the next recourse? Because they're probably interested in getting their naturalization in a couple months or so. What should they do?
They should write a letter immediately. So if they have not voted in an election, first, I want them to get where they're registered. I want them to get the information on where and under what circumstances they registered to vote. And then I want them to write back to that agency and to say, I accidentally registered to vote. I am not a citizen of the United States of America. I am a green card holder. Or I am, if you're undocumented, don't put you're undocumented. Just say, I am not in a position to vote. So in other words, you're putting that place on notice that you are not a registered voter. You should not have been a registered voter. And then you can at least hold on to that for your immigration file to show, look, I registered to vote accidentally. I notified them immediately and I did not vote. And here's my proof that I never participated in that process.
It's very important to know that, guys. Guys, keep the calls coming in. Keep the calls coming in. I'm seeing a lot of people. I'm getting some of the phone lines are getting spam. There's people that is trying to be malicious and spamming the phone call. But our job here is basically to inform our Caribbean people about relevant information that better your life, right? So everyone who's out there and trying to create problems and spam the phone lines, it's not going to deter our efforts to inform and educate our community. We're going to continue to do this. That's our task, and we'll continue to do that. But for the legitimate folks who want to get question answered, I want you guys to call in. The number again is 718-701-5720. That's 718-701-5720. What else we want to ensure that we get out there as it relates to the voting process and as it relates to citizenship, Pfunde?
I think with naturalization, I cannot emphasize enough that naturalization is a point in the immigration process where the service corrects itself. It's the point where they've given you enough rope to hang yourself.
Right.
And right at the naturalization point, that's where they review your entire immigration file. So you might think you're just going to submit that one form, that one application that you and I have been looking at, and you think that's the only thing you will be interviewed on. No. What the officer will do is they're going to go back to your initial immigration application, that B1, B2, that F1. They're going to go all the way back to the first time how you entered the United States. That officer is also going to look back at how you got your green card, whether you got it through marriage, whether you got it through an employer, whether you got it through asylum. They're going to take a look back at that. And they're going to compare all their notes with your naturalization application, and what they're looking for, any kind of misrepresentation. I've seen where people were married when they applied for their B1, B2, right? So they
Right.
completed an application saying they were married. They then come into the United States, and because we're at a point where a lot of times documents from overseas, they're not as readily available. Some people do not get divorced, but they marry someone else in the United States and they got the green card. So things are going well, right?
Uh-huh.
I've seen at my naturalization interview, the officer goes all the way back to that original application and said, wait a minute, but you said you were married here on this B1, B2. So I remind everybody, the naturalization is a point where the service corrects itself, because once they naturalize you, it is very hard to denaturalize you.
Right.
So that's where they kind of go through your application with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that everything is above board and nobody missed anything.
Yeah. Janet has a question there. What if the green card has expired, but prior to your retaining order plus police record, etc., can it be renewed?
So Janet, all right, I think I understand your question. So you have a green card. You have a green card and you have some kind of issue. So what I would do with someone like Janet Mark is I would sit down to kind of see if that's a domestic violence issue, because certain domestic violence offense is a deportable offense. So I would have to look at what caused that restraining order. Are you the victim or are you the perpetrator? If you're the victim, then certainly it makes our job easier. If you're the perpetrator or you are convicted of domestic violence, I would be careful before I renew, because when you go to renew, they're going to run your fingerprints.
Right.
And if those fingerprints come back with a hit, see that you were convicted of a crime, they can then place you into removal proceedings if it were a deportable offense. So again, I would kind of want to find out what's the underlying criminal activity, and to see if you're the victim or the perpetrator. And then I'll decide if it's a good idea to renew, or do we need to go back and fix those charges, make sure they're sorted in a way where they're not a removable offense.
Fuck off, you black bastard.
Right. Here we go again.
Is that that's just people calling in and spamming us, Junior?
Yeah. It's coming in. I remember earlier this week, Saturday, we had a party on the Zoom, and man, we had so much spams. I had to just block it up. But it happens.
Okay.
Yeah, just idle people sometimes. I want to talk about deportation.
Yes.
It's a very important part of the process, and a process that you know very, very well.
Yes.
If someone has been deported, they've been sent back to the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
How could they obtain a visa? What's the time lapse between them obtaining a visa to come back into the United States?
So I think the best way for me to answer that is to say what the law says, and to tell you that it depends what they were deported for. It's highly unlikely they will not be allowed back in. So the law says if you're removed from the United States, say, for example, you went to prison and you committed a deportable offense, maybe a drug offense. Let's use a drug offense because that's common. And
Right.
You were deported. So you were removed from the United States. The law says you wait outside of the United States for 10 years and then you can reapply to come back in. They're not
Right.
letting you back in. They're not letting you back in.
Oh, they're not letting you back after the 10
They're
years?
not going to. After the 10 years are up, you march into a U.S. consulate abroad and you apply for a B1, B2, and they ask you about your criminal history, and you plop out you've been convicted of a drug offense or a crime involving some kind of moral turpitude in the United States. You're a sex offender. They're not granting you a visa to come back to the United States. They're going to hold those offenses against you. So the law says 10 years. Where we've had success with people coming back in is if the only reason they've removed you, say you've overstayed. So, you kind of came across the border or you overstayed your B1, B2, and they caught you somewhere. ICE came and swept you up and they removed you. In that case, we're able to get you back on a waiver, because the only crime you've committed is overstaying, or what we call unlawful presence. But for the
Right.
most part, Junior, for those criminal offenses, it's going to be super hard. Even when you use a waiver, it's going to be super hard for them to. They're very, very unlikely that they're going to grant you a visa to re-enter the United States.
Wow. So you're saying that if it's a lifetime bar that you technically would have once you've been deported.
For certain, if it's depending on the criminal activity, those
Right.
we call them that, like the Adam Walsh crimes, you're not
Right.
coming back. Where it's a sex offense against the minor, you're not coming back. Some of our drug trafficking offenses, that's going to be a hard sell, a very, very, very hard sell to convince a U.S. consulate to let you back in after it, because they're going to look at your criminal history, and they're going to have your immigration file. So those, they have waivers for certain activities. The waivers are hard. The waivers are pretty hard, so it can be done, but for
Mhm.
certain crimes, they're not going to allow you back into the United
When we
States.
see that she has a patient who was deported 3 times and was able to come back into the U.S., how is that possible?
People have their ways of coming back. I mean, I remember when I worked at the federal public defender, and I looked at a gentleman and he said, oh, I've been deported twice. And my colleague looked at me like she didn't understand what he meant. People have their ways of coming back into the United States. They can come back through Mexico. They can come back through the Bahamas. People have their means. They want to take the risk. Keep in mind, when you re-enter, it becomes a federal crime and you can be put in jail. You can be put in jail. Wow, Wendy, 3 times. I love it. I also see, I think we lost Junior a little bit, but I'll keep going. Wesley, I see you say, good night, Junior. I'm married to a U.S. citizen. I have my green card, but because I got into the U.S. before 2 years of marriage, I was given the conditional card. Given the extension for 18 months. It was expired last month. I'm in Grenada now. I did a biometric and fingerprint in February. What is the next step? So it sounds to me like you're in Grenada and your documents have expired. You will need to go to your consulate post in Grenada, Wesley, and talk to them about being outside of the United States on those expired documents. So that's what I would recommend for you, Wesley. Definitely go to the consulate post in Grenada. I'm hoping you have that thick sheet, that 18-month extension. Take that with you to the consulate post, make an emergency appointment, let them know that you left the United States and that your paper has expired. Right now, those are taking a long time. The removal of the condition, Wesley, they're taking a long time to be processed. I'm hoping maybe your green card will come in the mail while you're there. I would go ahead and have my wife stateside check on the status where it is, but you need to be proactive by going to the consulate post and let them know that your paper has expired. Remember, you cannot travel into the United States on an expired document. So hopefully the green card comes while you're there, or you go to the U.S. consulate. And I want to caution individuals about traveling when their documents are close to expire. One of the things I advise my clients not to do is to leave the United States with documents that are about to expire in 6 months. So in your case, Wesley, say you have your extension based on your conditional residence, or based on your 2-year green card, and that is about to expire within the next 6 months, I would tell you to stay put, because we never know what can happen outside of the United States, as we have seen with Corona. So for you, I wish you good luck, but definitely contact the U.S. consulate in Grenada. A lot of the local consulate posts, they are reopening for emergency visits, and I think this would definitely qualify as an emergency. Wendy Ann, I see you said she was threatening another nurse and told her, you don't know who you're messing with. There you go. There you go. And maybe that's why she was 3 times deported outside of the United States. Let me see if there are any other questions in here. We lost Junior a little bit, but what we've covered today, Wesley, I hope, yes, you have the extension. Good, Wesley. So make the appointment with the consulate and go in, since your extension has expired. If your extension is not expired, you're free to come back in with the extension. All right. I hope that answers your question. Mo says, if you're a citizen and you married someone who's deported for a drug offense, will the deportee be able to come back to the United States if you filed for them? Now, it depends, Mo, how bad the drug offense was. So the citizen can file the US I-130 stateside. The citizen can definitely file the I-130 stateside, but we're going to need what we call a criminal waiver, Mo, and that's where things get tricky. That's where the individual's past will come back to haunt them. So sure enough, we'll file the I-130. The citizen is going to file for the husband, the deportee, and we're going to get that approved. Where our case is going to get into trouble is at the consulate stage, where the consular post is getting ready to process your deportee, your deported loved one. They're going to look at that individual's past and they're going to require a waiver, what we call a crime waiver. And a part of that waiver, we have to show that this person possessed good moral character. So that is where we're going to run into trouble. That is definitely where we're going to run into trouble. All right. So if I were you, I would definitely, this is one of those cases where I would say, you definitely want to consult with an immigration attorney so you can get the right facts. I'm not seeing any. Dionne Fraser, thanks. I-130 stateside with a criminal waiver. Absolutely. So we file the criminal waiver here in the States, and then the criminal waiver we do at the consular post when that person goes to the to be processed. Telephone number, if you want to get a hold of me, everyone, 813-815-3529, 813-815-3529. And while we're still waiting on Junior to come back, I'll see if I've answered all your questions. We do appreciate you always coming in, always sharing your. Sonia, I think Junior went to Carnival. We lost Junior. He went to Carnival. My telephone number, 813-815-3529. If you're not able to ask your question today. I love this last question. It says, what is the process for same-sex marriage? So we have an act that protects same-sex couples under DOMA. And believe it or not, the process for a same-sex marriage green card is the same process for a heterosexual couple. All right. So if I was doing a marriage petition for a heterosexual couple, male, female, the process is the same for female, female, or for male, male. We still have to show that the marriage was bona fide and that the marriage was entered into for the right reasons. So it doesn't matter that it's a same-sex couple. We still have to show the same things, Shay. Thank you for that question. But it doesn't matter that it's a same-sex couple. It will be the same. It will be the same process. We have to show that you're bona fide, that you're living in the same house, that you're acting as spouse and spouse, partner and partner. Are you sharing expenses, or are you getting into this marriage and the only purpose is that green card? So Shay, to answer your question, welcome back, Junior. We thought you went to Carnival.
Yeah.
Let me just finish answering. I'll turn it back over to you.
Go ahead.
So the process for the same-sex couple will be the same. Geraldine, I did see your post earlier. Thank you for watching all the way from London. I appreciate you. But yes, green card people, you got to pay your taxes, but you cannot vote, unfortunately. So I'm going to turn it back over to the man. Junior is back. My number has been posted. Thank you, 813-815-3529. Junior? I think Junior came back with a pretty smile and that's it. Dionne Fraser says we don't need you, Junior. So I think we're still having some issues. So I'm just going to keep talking until Junior comes back. If there are any more questions, guys, go ahead and post and I'll definitely keep answering them. Right now, I'm the host with the most because we don't have Junior right now. But if you have any other questions, I think today We did good in answering most of the questions that came in. Da-da-da. Oh, two things I wanted to tell you. Fee increases. Remember, all immigration fees are going up on October 1st. So if you plan, especially my individuals that want to get naturalized, if you do plan on submitting your naturalization application, that fee will be increased by almost $500. So if you plan to get naturalized, definitely go ahead and submit that application before October 1st. So you can take advantage of the lower fee. Attorney Fitz has a question. I don't see Attorney Fitz. All right. Second time is a charm. I think Junior is back. Attorney Fitz, I don't see the question. Deanna, do you see that question?
Attorney Fitz
Has a question. I don't see it, but oh, Fitz Edwards. Okay. Attorney Fitz says, can they look at your sibling status and deny you a B visa? It depends. That is a good question, because if all your siblings are living in the United States and living undocumented, they might be hesitant. Because remember, when you're completing the DS 160, Attorney Fitz, they look at your family history and the migration pattern of your family. I remember even going for a B1 visa when my mother had immigrated to the United States and was living here. And I went to apply for a visa and they denied me because they said, your mother is there, we're not sending you there. So if there's some bad immigration juju in your family, meaning a lot of the siblings, and even if they're citizens, they probably won't want to give you that green card because they're saying you're going to come to the United States and then you're not going to go back. You're not going to go back.
Yeah.
Proof for a VAWA application. John, I don't know if we have time. I'll have to ask Junior.
Yeah, we have about 5 more minutes. We
Okay.
go about 5 more minutes.
Let me answer John, and then I'll turn it back to you, Junior. All right. So, Joan, the proof for a VAWA application, if you're saying that you were abused, we need some proof that you were abused. And I like to say to my Caribbean community, abuse doesn't always mean he's kicking you and punching you, right? I think in the Caribbean, we feel like if he's just yelling at me, I can yell back, right? Abuse can be verbal, meaning he's young. It can be physical, right? Meaning he's punching you. It can mean he's held on to your documents, or she has held on to your documents, or she has been hitting you. It can be man or woman. It also can mean that you're both married and every night this person gets up, they tell you they're going to call immigration on you. That's abuse. Or they're threatening you and they've taken all the money from the bank account, or they've taken your passport. So you would have to show evidence of abuse. Thanks, Dionne. It can be emotional abuse. He doesn't want your children to call. He doesn't want your grandma to call. He doesn't want nobody to call. He doesn't want your friends to come over. He's keeping you in isolation. So abuse, there's lots of way you can show abuse. So you will need evidence that, one, there is a bone. Two, that you are suffering some kind of abuse. For VAWA applications, I love doing VAWA applications. So you would call me 813-815. Yes, Dionne, are they 16 nightly? Lord, that's exhausting, right? I love that. But Junior, let me turn it back over to you.
Yeah, I came in where you was talking about the VAWA application, and I want people to know that when they say Violence Against Women Act, it doesn't only apply to women.
That is correct.
Men could also file under the same clause.
Or children.
Or children.
Children can file under the same, yeah. Right.
Guys, it's important that you know what's happening as it relates to immigration. That's why we're here. That's why we dedicated a whole hour of this program, at least one day a week, to make sure our Caribbean people get the updated information as it relates to immigration. Now, Dionne Pfunde she is contributing her time. Dionne Wynter Pfunde, my little sister, she's donating her time here just so that you guys could be informed and update. And I really hope that you guys appreciate it.
Junior, can I answer the last question from Grenada? Only
Yeah, go
because
ahead.
it's hard for these people to reach me sometimes. Her
Okay.
son is a U.S. citizen, wants to file for her. Mom, when he reaches 21, he can file for you. As soon as he turned 21, he can then file for you to come to the United States.
Right. And what's the process of them filing from here? Do you get like a visa from there to travel straight up?
No. So the son would file the I-130 stateside, and then once it's ready, he will send it to, not he, but the NVC here, they'll send it to Grenada to be processed.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Again, you see, very, very, very important information, guys. I want you guys to continue to share. And right here, we're here every Wednesday. But I also want you guys to share the number 813-815-8529 to a friend, a family member. You might know someone who needs immigration consultation, immigration assistance. She's donating our time. We have to show our support by doing all that we can to support her, as well as our gratitude and thanks. And we know that her information is valid. I mean, she's like no other. She's the best in what she do. And we're just so thankful. So show your appreciation, guys. Share that. Put a number on your fridge. Give it to a friend, a family member, anybody that you know need immigration assistance. Bam, this is the number to call. 813-815-3529. Any last words?
Any last words? You know, I think it goes without saying that I love coming onto this show. I love sharing knowledge. And if I could leave anything with this community, talk to a lawyer. Stop using the little people that don't understand immigration. Even if you're not ready to get your process sorted, it is very important that you at least talk to a lawyer. Can a mother apply for VAWA from her children? Give me a buzz, 813-815-3529, and I'll assist. But definitely, I'm encouraging everyone to at least consult with a lawyer. It's the best $100, $200, or $300 you can spend, because they will lay out a strategy for you that is not filled with fear of the immigration process.
Absolutely. And of course, you can check out Dionne Wynter Pfunde on Sunday with the team, the top 5, my favorite show of the week. You guys have it going on. You ladies have it going on. Got it going on.
Wait. Sorry.
Oh, you're not gonna do this to us.
Oh, yes, I am.
How come we never have a ride-along cup? How come I never got my ride-along cup and you got your top 5 cup?
We need to get a Ridealong cup, Junior.
Yeah. Come on. We gotta talk to people in Master Control.
We gotta talk to your people, and I'll talk to my people, and
Yes,
we'll get mugs.
Let's get mugs, because I feel left out now. I don't have no mug. I don't have no cup. I don't have a pen. I have absolutely nothing. Thank you guys again. Share the number. Save the number on your fridge. Write the lawyer name next to it and give it to everybody you know. Tell them give her a call. Dionne Wynter Pfunde, my little
Thank you,
sister.
sir. Pleasant day.
Again, Friday and Sundays is
5
show
o'clock.
called Top 5. Peace out, guys. See you tomorrow, where Lynn and and Natasha and Kibbs gonna be here. I might pass by. I'm not sure. I might take the day off. Who knows? But on Thursdays, them women and them talking about all kind of things. And tomorrow the topic will be hot. Real hot tomorrow, Jed. You gotta check it out. Kibbs, Lynn, Lois, JJ, and Natasha. I might pass by. Who knows? She said, guys, don't forget to check me out on emoji.com, www.emoji.com. That's social media your way. We love you. We appreciate you guys. Peace out. Be safe. Be kind to somebody. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Top 5 at 5. Educating. Empowering. entertaining. We are the top 5.
Do you emoji? I'm talking to you. Yes, you. Do you emoji? You should. Emoji, a brand new social media platform where you can social your way. With a simple and quick way to engage, meet new friends, and social the way you just love to. No annoying blocking or censorship. Check out emoji.com from your mobile or desktop PC. Emoji.com. Do you emoji? Well, you should. Log in now. Emoji.com. Do you emoji?
Emoji.com. Log in, sign up, and emoji.
Hey, did you know that the census is due this year on April 1st? And guess what? This time we can finally count as Caribbean. This year, all you have to do is 1. Check the race box, and 2. Write in your country of birth or ancestry. You can answer by the paper form, online, or by phone. Everybody counts in Census 2020. So count as Caribbean. Yes, we count.
Life is a ride. Life is a ride. Life is a ride along. Life is a ride along. Welcome to the experience. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to the journey. A movement. This is Ridealong Live, where everyone has a story to tell.